Explosions have been reported in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, amid warnings from the country's Air Force that Russia had launched ballistic missiles early on Tuesday morning.
Moving on now, Russian forces launched a combined drone and missile attack on the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, killing one and triggering power cuts and water supply problems. Now, the latest strikes follow a barrage of drone strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure overnight on Monday.
Russia launched a barrage of drone attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure, cutting off power in 5 regions across the country amid freezing temperatures, Ukrainian officials said. The Ukrainian Air Force said that Russia's military had launched 145 drones at targets in Ukraine and that 126 were successfully intercepted. In an attack on the southern Odessa region, energy and gas infrastructure were damaged, the regional governor said, adding that one person was hurt. DTEK, Ukraine's largest private energy company, said its facility in Odessa was substantially damaged, knocking out power to 30,800 households. Russia also hit Ukraine's second-largest city of Kharkiv with missiles on Monday, significantly damaging a critical infrastructure facility, the city's mayor, Ihor Terekhov, said on the Telegram messaging app. Terekhov did not provide details about the type of facility that was struck. Russian forces have taken control of the settlements of Pavlivka in Ukraine's Zaporizhia region and Novopavlivka in Donetsk region, Russia's Ministry of Defense said. The ministry's claims could not be independently verified. Ukraine's armed forces are introducing a new approach to air defense involving small groups of interceptor drones, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly video address. The Kyiv independent media outlet reported that Ukraine's SBU Secret Service captured a Russian soldier suspected of executing 9 Ukrainian prisoners of war in 2024. This is CBNEWS. Subscribe to our channel for daily world news update. Stay tuned. The Czech Republic will not sell or donate to Ukraine light combat planes that could shoot down incoming Russian drones, the country's Prime Minister, Andrej Babis, said, rejecting a plan outlined by President Petr Pavel. Pavel earlier said that Ukraine had offered to buy some of the country's subsonic L-159 jets. Ukraine's top military commander, Oleksandr Syrsky, said Moscow is showing no signs of interest in talks leading to a peace deal with Kyiv. It is instead boosting arms production, including a target of 1,000 drones per day, he added. Kyiv has held substantive talks on security and economic issues with U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and envoy Steve Witkoff, with more discussions expected at the World Economic Forum, WEF, in Davos this week. Ukraine's security chief and top negotiator, Rustem Umerov, said. Zelensky said he hopes to sign documents with the U.S. on post-war security guarantees for Ukraine at Davos this week, adding that his team of negotiators had held several rounds of talks in the U.S. Russian President Vladimir Putin's special envoy, Kirill Dmitriev, will travel to Davos this week and hold meetings with members of the U.S. delegation on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum, the Reuters news agency reported, citing 2 sources with knowledge of the visit. Ukraine will face enormous challenges to organize its first elections since Russia's 2022 full-scale invasion, with its infrastructure shattered and millions of people displaced by war, the country's election chief Oleh Didenko said, responding to Trump's demand for Ukraine to hold the vote. Russia jailed an American man for 5 years for illegally transporting weapons, a court announced, saying that a rifle was found on his yacht after it docked in the port city of Sochi last June. It identified the man as Charles Wayne Zimmerman and said he admitted his guilt in full. It did not mention when exactly the man was sentenced, but said an appeal against the conviction had been rejected. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, announced that the 330 kilovolt Kyiv Ferrosplavno 1 power line has been reconnected to Ukraine's Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. The power line is one of 2 high-voltage lines supplying electricity that powers the Russian-controlled nuclear power plant in Ukraine and was disconnected earlier this month. Ukrainian Energy Minister Denis Shmyhal announced on Telegram that he had informed the head of the IAEA about Russian preparations for more strikes on Ukrainian energy facilities, including those that ensure the operations of nuclear plants. Russia's federal budget proceeds from taxes on oil and gas are expected to drop by 46% in January from the same month in 2025 due to weaker oil prices and a stronger ruble, according to an analysis by Reuters. Oil and gas revenue are key to funding Russia's war on Ukraine. Polish pipeline operator Gaz-System will increase gas transmission capacity to Ukraine between February and April, the company said in a statement, as Russia continues to attack Ukraine's energy sector. CB News, bringing you World News Update. Thank you for watching.